So the first caucus post the election. Let's have a look what happened with the Labour Party.
Flanked by his friends, facing up to the harsh reality of an electoral punishing.
We're picking ourselves up again. It's been a pretty brutal weekend.
A brutal verdict from the public. He lost out on the top job, and immediately questions began swirling around whether Labour would let him keep his leadership.
Are you still hungry to be in politics?
Not done with politics yet.
Hipkins.
Interesting question though, because mind you, others have lost. I'm pretty sure Helen Clark lost in 96 and then won in 99. Mm-hmm. But I think she was an up-and-comer. Hipkins feels like he's sort of at the top already and the only way is down. So I think there will be some new leader within, what should we say? We'll say 3 months, 3 to 6 months, maybe.
I don't think so, personally. I think they're going to keep him on.
I was just going to mention your track record with making predictions about leaders of parties, but that's okay. We can leave that for today.
Wow, you're gonna go there, are you? Okay.
Look, I don't know
Matthew.
either, because it's maybe a poison chalice, so some people may not want it. Let's have a look what else is said.
Hipkins hesitant to commit to his role without chatting with his team first.
The team have been incredible, actually, and sort of supporting each other, supporting those MPs who are not returning. I think we'll regroup as a team.
And the team is hurting. They were smashed from north to south. Labour fortresses like Mount Roskill flipped. Mount Albert, the seat of Jacinda Ardern, David Shearer and Helen Clark, down to the wire. A 20,000 majority whittled to just over 100 votes.
Really interesting, yeah? So here's a question. I'm going to play one of these interactions with the media for the MP for Mount Albert. Excuse me, her name just slips my brain right about now. I think it's fine, but there's a little bit of testiness there because the media are asking her about her failing to hold to the numbers, and she's celebrating her win. But you have a look and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
Are you embarrassed about the result on Saturday?
My result or the party's? No, I'm really, really proud of my result.
How did you do so badly in Mount Albert, though?
What a ridiculous question. I didn't do badly. I did really, really well.
MPs knew enough.
So she won on a weekend where National obliterated lots of other Labour seats. So is going from a 20,000 majority to a barely majority, is that doing really badly? Or looking at the context of what's happened to the Labour Party, is that a great success because she held a seat when others didn't? I tend to lean towards it was a pretty good result for her. The media is like, how did you do so badly? What, to win? Yeah, but how did you do so badly in winning? I don't know. It feels a bit bitchy from the media to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't fault her reaction at all. Like, she won her seat. She held the line when so many people didn't. No, it's a dumb question. She called them on it.
Yep. All right. Fair enough. Let's keep it going to our best mate, the ute driver.
Old filed into the room, closed the door, and for nearly 5 hours thrashed out their thrashing, some failing to keep tempers in check as they emerged.
Is Chris Hipkins still the leader of the Labour Party?
Eventually, Hipkins appeared with an answer himself.
Are you still the leader of the Labour Party?
Yes.
Well, for now at least.
The leader is the leader until they're not, and I'm certainly still the leader of the Labour Party.
The caucus already straying from script, talking about other contenders, Willie Jackson admitting some have leadership aspirations.
Are you expecting that there will be a contest, that he'll have to fight to keep it?
I hope not, but I'm not sure.
No diligence done in presenting a face of unity.
We have a leader currently. We haven't got a new caucus yet. We're not discussing leadership at the moment.
Currently, at the moment.
That's interesting. We're not talking leadership at the moment. So that means that question was never even asked today. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, we're not talking leadership at the moment, which kind of makes sense because you've got to get your caucus together, you've got to get the new people through the door, and then you have that conversation. Yep. So actually, the media beat up around, has he been rolled? Has he been rolled? You probably can't roll him yet. There'll be new MPs who are going to take a few weeks to get their feet under their desks, and then that conversation is more natural to happen. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty interesting way to do it. Felix is saying, can the media back off? I mean, I think when the media sees blood, they go for it. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's the process of the media. That's what they do. Yeah. And when someone's hurting, they typically twist the knife rather than remove it and place a soothing bit on it. So I think, I don't want to say it's okay, but I'd say it's to be expected, Chewy, that they'll be looking for blood. Because remember as well, and I'm not saying this is necessarily a bad thing, but the media is a business and they need to get people watching their product, and they need to have people clicking on those headlines so they can get their ad revenue, so they can get their money they need to make their product. Which is why that old saying goes around, and I'm sure most of you have heard it, which is, if it bleeds, it leads. And if you talk to reporters, and I've seen this in documentaries, about a guy saying, a heroic act on the beach of someone being saved, or a shooting down the road, which would you go to? And they go, oh, the shooting. Always the shooting. Yeah. Because if it bleeds, it leads.
As far as O'Connor's glorious fuck off, can I say they are camped right outside the caucus room?
Yep.
And from my understanding, he was just popping out to go to the toilet. He hadn't even got the caucus room door closed.
Yeah.
Before they pounced on him. Look, the man's from the West Coast. That's a West Coast response. I don't fault him for that at all.
Well, I do, but I don't fault him for his reaction. I kind of think I wish more politicians were like that. I just think on today of all days, like if he had done that like in the middle of the election run because the media were being wankers, fair enough. But today is not the day to do that. That's all I'm saying. Maybe I'm doing a PR spin or a marketing spin, but yeah, that's all I would say, Chewy. All right, let's keep going with this wonderfully light-hearted story about the demolition of that man's soul and his heir successor.
Hardly a vote of confidence.
Are you confident that you have the full confidence of your caucus?
Look, I'm the leader of the Labour Party, and as I indicated, that's not even something that we're going to, to contemplate properly until we've got a final result.
Kieran McAnulty is often floated as an heir.
Would you completely rule out a run for leadership if the position became open?
Absolutely. I'm not at all interested.
But the position...
Do you believe him? Because he sounds very convincing. I mean, I think he'd be a good leader, but if you look at what happens to leaders, I can understand why people might want to run a mile from it as well.
Yeah. No, I believe him in that moment.
Right.
Do I believe that'll always be his position? No.
All right.
Remained filled today.
And I don't expect the caucus to rush any decisions on the future either. I think we do need to take some time to make sure we reflect properly on the election result.
Labor tore itself apart during its last turn on the opposition benches. Andrew Little pieced them back together and dished some advice to the new lot. Keep your cool. Keep your humility.
Yeah, that's it.
Politics is a team sport.
That's it. It's keeping your cool. I mean, the fuck off is not keeping your cool, even if it was an appropriate fuck off. That's all I guess I'm saying, Joey.
And so the team must be strong. And there are difficult times and challenging times. This is one of them. And so there needs to be a good conversation about it. But it's not on the basis of kind of ripping each other apart.
The reflecting will take some time, even if losing was an inevitability.
Did you know at that point that you were going to lose the election?
Look, you always live in hope right up until the last moment.
Now living in hope, Labor can keep it together.
Yes.
Well, Jenna's with us now. Kia ora, Jenna. Hard day for Labor. What's the mood of the caucus?
I don't think we need Jenna's commentary as well. We've basically had the sum total of that. So, yeah.
What was the mood of the caucus, Jenna? Well, one of them told me to fuck off. So, there's that.